Huh? You never heard this intro? Man, it has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a
I forgot how long it's been since you've been here.
It feels like it's always like more than a month, but it never feels more than 2 or 3 weeks. So okay. Oh, I haven't seen. So okay, Lakin's car took a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been on in that long. It's been because that's been like a 2 or 3 month thing.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So Lakin's car took a shit, right? It was the very beginning of summer.
Mm-hmm.
When it was still 90 degrees outside. The next day, I borrowed my dad's car,
Jesus
my
Christ,
dad's spare
it has
car,
been a while.
and the day I drive to work with that car, it was 117 outside.
Mm-hmm.
So we went from 92 degrees to 117 overnight.
In like a day, yeah.
It was overnight.
It was retarded.
So I've learned a lot with that car. I have had Kamala Harris give me the hardest fucking time while she was here with that car.
Shit.
So okay, I had a okay. So Lakin's car, her brakes failed.
Right.
So her brakes failed. Her car started overheating. There's like 3 or 4 other things that went wrong with it. So it was in the shop for a month. During the first month that it was in the shop,
Fuck.
it gets better.
Hold on. We're gonna make it.
All right. So the first couple of moments is just going to be a black screen, and then it's going to pop in.
Yeah, literally.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Oopsies. Sorry, guys.
I have my dad's car for like the first week, and I run over a lawnmower engine on the freeway.
Oh,
So my tire
that
pops.
part I did not know.
So my tire pops,
Right.
and so I get over, and it's completely fucking dangerous. This lady stops and tries to ask if I need help, but she almost rear ends me on the side of the freeway, and then will not get out of her car to see if I'm okay. So I have to walk over to her on the freeway during rush hour at 3 p.m. On the I-10.
Yeah, definitely pull that thing closer to you.
That's a first.
Yeah.
So
You look so uncomfortable.
no, I can move this around and figure it out.
Reform. Just get it closer. I didn't know that's
There we
what
go.
you hit because I heard the story.
I didn't know what it was until I drove past it a week after.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's very specific. A lawnmower.
It was a
engine.
lawnmower engine,
Oh,
like
okay.
like a Honda fucking 10cc engine.
Okay.
And so yeah, Kamala Harris, don't like her anymore. Not because of political views, just personal. And
Tell the story so people understand why.
So I'm stuck on the freeway. I'm pretty much my life almost ends like 3 or 4 times because of people like swerving, almost hitting me or anything like that. And then the freeway goes dead. When the freeway goes dead, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, here's my chance to change the tire. I couldn't change the tire because I didn't have a jack. Because I didn't have a jack, that's pretty much why I got into this position.
Oof.
And all of a sudden a trooper comes up. I actually said this last time. It doesn't matter. Long story short, the trooper was a dick. And I had to limp my car off the freeway. And then I had to limp my car off again because I was still in harm's way, apparently. Then I had to limp my car off a third time.
It's not far enough. Can't pull over any
Yeah,
farther.
because it wasn't far. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Fuck.
And so I go through this round. It was like 2.5 hours. I was still waiting on AAA to get to me. And then the AAA guy gives me a bunch of attitude. And whatever. Bygones are bygones. Fucking, that was 2 months ago. Still don't like Kamala Harris. But that's my own opinion.
Connect the dots for the listeners.
The reason why I had to get off the freeway wasn't for my safety,
Urgently.
but because Kamala Harris was on her way. So
The motorcade was coming.
Yeah, the motorcade was coming. So Kamala Harris was more important than my life.
More important than my fuckery.
So yeah, that's why it's nothing political or anything like that. I just don't. I feel it was she was in Arizona because she wanted to say we appreciate the Native Americans. That's I listened to the speech out of hate. That's exactly what it was.
Out of hate. Oh my god, I love it.
So that's the first thing I have wrong with that. The second thing I have wrong with that is it started overheating. And I still don't know why it was overheating. It's just when it's 113 outside and I drive on the freeway,
Everything overheats.
it overheats.
Right.
And once I'm off the freeway, it's good. I just can't have it on level 4 for AC. I have to keep it on level 3. So I don't get max AC. I just get
A taste.
a taste of AC.
A little some.
Enough to sweat a little bit.
Make you rethink your life.
And then I had another thing happen to it where I ended up replacing a position solenoid. Camshaft position solenoid on it.
There you go.
Which wasn't hard. It was on top. I also had to change a sensor on it. I had to refill it with oil because it ran out of oil, which it's not leaking, which means it's burning away in the engine.
Taking it away.
So that's also fun. I need to change the brakes on it. I need to I don't like owning cars that aren't mine because they are always a problem.
You do seem to have an issue with cars.
It's always maintenance issues. It's never
Right. It's never something like you directly did.
yeah. Like it's always
Just something fucking stupid.
well. When does a camshaft position sensor go bad?
Whenever the fuck it wants.
Yeah, it went bad for me.
But it's like, hey, Devlin's driving, so you might want to expedite any problems that we were talking about having. Let's get it done now.
I think the fuel pump's going out. The starter's going out. I know that because it takes its time. If I don't drive it over the weekend, it starts up right away. But if I drive it every single day, like turn it on twice a day, it gets a little weaker every time.
Well, that's shitty.
Oh, I had to replace a battery on it because it wouldn't start one day.
Didn't you guys have to put a motor in one of these soon?
Oh,
Or-
that's the thing. So since all of this has happened to me, I got Lakin's car back, and on the way I blew the engine on the way back home because the tensioner failed. And even though it's a non-interference engine, it interfered.
Something interfered.
And so she gets a full engine rebuild for free.
Oh,
But it's still in the shop. And while I was gifted the opportunity to drive my car to work one day, Lakin took my dad's car and got her nails done with my mom and my grandmother. And while she was getting her nails done, someone hit the car in the parking lot. And so there's no front bumper on it.
like that hard?
Yeah, you want to see pictures?
Kinda.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures of it.
Dude, you that whole side of the family has like literally the worst fucking luck.
I don't know why I deserve it because I treat cars nicely.
I'm not sure.
First off, I'm not the one that did that.
Jesus Christ.
That was after the zip tie job. I drive that every day.
Where's the bumper?
It's in the back seat. Let me show you the picture of the bumper.
It's in the back seat, he says.
I don't know what I did to deserve this.
Yeah, me fucking either. But you guys get the brunt of it, dude.
Yeah. Took the whole bumper
And they didn't
out.
fucking leave nothing.
They left a note saying, sorry, you can call my agent.
Was there information?
No. There was a number for someone at State Farm.
Did you call it?
Yeah, 3 days in a
Obviously.
row. No one ever sent anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dear Lord in heaven.
So yeah, I'm just cruising around with a zip tied front end.
I mean, I've done it too, but on my own fucking will.
I don't deserve nice things.
Apparently, dude. Jesus Christ.
I'm not allowed to have.
You guys have some of the dumbest fucking luck with cars. And I don't know what it is. I would say neglect, but I know you're better than that.
It's not neglect because I don't neglect my cars.
I know you don't.
Like,
you
that's-
take better care of them than most people do.
Like, my car's up for an oil change soon. I already feel bad that I haven't set it up yet. I needed an oil change as of, like, yesterday.
Fuck, man.
Like, as of yesterday, I needed an oil change. And I'm like, I should probably get that done.
shit. So the motor's fixed.
Well, it's getting fixed.
Oh, it's still at the shop.
Yeah. Because
now
I
they got
blew the
this-
engine.
Now they got this piece of shit with no bumper in it that needs an engine. Then they're like, why
No,
the
no.
fuck?
That's my dad's car.
Oh,
That's the car I've been borrowing for 2.5 months.
perfect.
Yeah. I told her, I'm really glad that you let me borrow your car instead of mine, because I would have probably left work and I would have found the guy that did it, because I know it's a I have a 2020 Corolla. I am not letting that shit die. That's the first car I've ever owned with air conditioning.
God. Holy shit.
That's a weird fact, huh?
Yeah, that's a wild.
I've been driving for fucking a decade, and I've only had a car for the last 2 years with AC.
I mean, I was that way for a long time, so I get it.
I mean, to be fair, I want a car with no AC again.
What?
Because I don't like the cock tease. Just, if I don't have a car with air conditioning, then I at least know it's going to be fun. Because I'm going to be delirious.
Dude, last time I did it, I don't know if I can do it again.
Well, I'm still young. You know, I weighed,
that.
when I had no air conditioning, I weighed 170 pounds.
I know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Thinking about how getting into some of the trucks and cars I used to drive with no AC all the fucking time.
I was skinny.
Anywhere you would go, you would get out just covered in sweat.
Yeah, I was a skinny bitch. Also, if anyone's watching this shirt is fucking huge. I'm not this big of a person. I was.
That flap does not exist. Yeah.
Well, I just fucking flashed. Oh, well.
It's fine. It's just a little belly. It's not as big as it looks.
It's really not. I look like fucking Jelly Roll right now, and I'm not.
Oh, man. Well.
Sage, how do I have a car that's not brand new and keep it from getting destroyed? Because I think I try my best.
I don't know. I don't have this fucking problem.
You have the opposite problem.
You guys talk shit so much to me because I modify my vehicles. I'm like, yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah, because it doesn't break down.
Yeah, ever.
So what I like to do
I shouldn't have said that.
when I have a
Now my truck's gonna be like, "Fuck you, bitch."
whenever I have a new vehicle or like an older vehicle, I buy the cheapest discount tires I can, and I get the warranty on them. And then I drive completely recklessly with those tires because I know that when they pop in 9 months, I get fresh tires, and I don't have to pay for the tires because I have the warranty. It's kind of like when you have a phone, and you're like, I don't need a case because the warranty is going to give me a brand new phone.
Yeah, but it's still time you gotta dedicate.
Okay,
Okay. He's like, I don't care.
free tires. I mean, yeah, I got to pay a $30 service charge.
I would just much rather not have to deal with it as a whole.
The thing is, the tires on my Corolla cost $400. Well, no, that's a lie. It's $400 for all of them. It's not. They're just terrain tires.
I can tell you one good reason we're not going to be able to relate here, because the tires on my truck cost $1,500.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So we're just not gonna find common ground here.
Look, to be fair, the tread on your the one tread on your tires is all the tread on my tires.
Yeah, dude.
So that's.
I'm like, this is not a ballpark agreement. We are not going to see eye to eye for valid reasons.
Okay.
So.
Let's say you bought the cheapest version of those tires and you want to go do something like off-road with them. Doesn't it feel better to know that when they pop, you just have a warranty for it anyways?
Well, typically with the tires that I buy, you don't get too much warranty.
Duly noted.
Well, yeah, if you're buying like 35s and 37s and shit, they know why you're buying them.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, stupid. What do you want a warranty for? Okay, if you get a nail, we'll fix it, asshole.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
No, yeah.
The sidewall on that tire completely busted, by the way, on that Subaru.
Seriously?
Completely busted. I wonder if I have a picture of it.
I wonder. Oh, my God.
Dude, I've been taking pictures of all of these because it's absurd what I have to, like, the problems that I find.
Yeah, I noticed.
Because I think one of the reasons why I'm really good at troubleshooting is because I don't have typical issues. So when it's like, oh, it could be low oil, it's like, well, it was low oil, but it's low oil because of something else.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
it's
why.
never. It's never something simple. It's always
No, that's why people tell you to always just. They started it with like the old carbs, like check your oil, you know. But
you start with like a fuse or anything like that. I hate when the fuse is good.
yeah, you're like fuck. Now what? God damn it. They used to tell you back in the day because all the old school like V8s and shit, it was not uncommon for them to burn a little bit of oil.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real thing, you know. They were mechanical engines.
Yeah.
Typically, if one of the newer things is burning oil, you have a much bigger problem
You
on
have a
hand.
lot of problems.
Yeah, because they don't typically do that, and if they do, then you should probably keep an eye on it. Otherwise, goodbye.
Well, if my Toyota burns oil, that means I'm about to lose an engine.
Yeah, that
Because-
means you're already halfway out the door.
That means I need to find a new car because this oil's not gonna. Also, I don't think they sell 020 oil
They do. That's European,
on
European and Japanese.
that's like all new cars now.
Yeah, yeah, it
Or
is.
015, 020, one of those.
Hondas use that shit in their SkyTech engines and shit.
Toyotas use it in their base level engine.
Motul. You're gonna spend a lot of money on oil, but run Motul.
So I had to change my my car battery in my Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove through Death Valley
Perfect.
and in the middle of summer last year, and my car didn't like that. It didn't overheat, but the battery died, like thermal runaway or whatever it is. So I had to get a new battery. You want to know how much that battery cost me?
Oh God,
Just make a guess.
$150.
Make a guess. Another one.
Higher?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Like 190, huh? More? What the fuck?
$470.
I'm sorry. Let me stop you right there.
Do you want to know why?
Where'd you pay $400 for a car battery?
Because there was 2 in the state, and that battery has a chip in it. The battery has a computer in it because it's a smart battery.
Boy, do I want to call so much bullshit right now.
Well, I wanted to call bullshit when I need to get my windshield calibrated.
That's a real thing.
I know.
Yeah, because I had to deal with that 3 different times with my car.
Mm-hmm. I have a car battery with its own computer in it.
I doubt it.
No, it does.
I'll look next time.
It's a special battery.
You're a special battery.
It's the size of a fucking moped battery.
Oh, God. Well,
It is the dumbest shit ever.
before we go too much farther into car problems,
Yeah, I didn't mean for it to devolve so much for 20 minutes.
It's okay. People are going to relate to this frustration. It's all right. I'm going to delve into something that I've kind of been a part of lately and noticing lately, and it's becoming super, super frustrating and mildly depressing. I've noticed that people coming in, it's like I just picture a revolving door, which is not a good thing to start. But of people that I meet coming into my life and just following that motherfucker right back out, and it seems to me like some or most people are so closed off to the idea of being open-minded about what they may be doing to cause problems.
Oh, we're gonna talk about how we live in a society.
It seems like, and don't get me wrong, part of this open-minded part is me openly willing to be admitting to being part of that problem. I have no problem with that, because I mean, as far as statistics go, if this many people are going to come in, find a problem, and then walk the fuck back out, the problem's probably me. But I look at all these different scenarios, and I'm like, they're all different instances where these people can't just have a conversation about what the real issue is. Because
I think it's because we don't have conversations anymore, really, short of like just small talk. I think that small talk has kind of ran through everything, and it's not just because of like the way our generation communicates. It's because of learned experiences. Like, whenever you talk to old timers at work, they're like, "Hey, that weather though, what the fuck is that gonna do for anything? Like you have meaningful conversations with your family, like, and with like your really close friends, you have meaningful conversations. But it takes years to build a friendship, and family it takes years for you to like get used to them. Just so you know, there's a bridge closure. Sorry.
Well,
Um,
thanks, computer.
and there's
Wait,
like,
we have bridges?
well, we have underpasses and overpasses. Those are essentially bridges.
Moving forward.
But yeah, no, like we have such a mindset towards not opening up. It's kind of like the thing we were talking about earlier in the kitchen, where it was like, in like Latino culture, in
Mhm.
Latin culture,
Yeah.
emotions don't exist for men. Like
It's-
you don't have sadness, you don't have anger. You shut the fuck up and you move on. Like that's because only bad things happen when you reveal yourself.
Well, this is going to add a little bit more controversy to the topic, but the majority of what I'm referring to is women.
I think that's also okay. Ooh, we're about to get into
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that we're not going to bring up. The one thing I say, generalizing, I'm going to generalize this conversation because I'm not going to get into that battle. But I'm going to generalize it by saying that I think people are so set in absolute ways because you don't have to look at what's in front of you as the best option. The next best option is typically just a swipe away.
Yeah, no, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
No,
It's a dance.
can
I
you
don't.
give me another beer?
I don't.
Okay, so
I don't want to have this dance either.
okay. Let me see if I can say this correctly without going misogynistic or mansplaining or any of those fucking words.
Right.
Because I got told I mansplained and I haven't let it go. And so
We'll get into that.
the way I hear it on both men and women talking about this subject.
Right.
And the overlying thing that they say is, or the overlaying aspect that they bring up is, women have so much more opportunity now than ever because they have the ability to swipe. They have the ability, like, there's a statistic of where like 80% of men don't get any hits on any dating apps because 20% is kind of running the game. And the thought process behind that is, well, why don't you just become better then? And people will. Or like men get told, oh, you're lonely? Well, how about you just be a better person then? And it's like stuff like that. And so it creates like men become more closed off and women see that they're only looking for essentially like a con artist kind of dude. A dude that is immediately what they are looking for at the moment. And if that's not what they're looking for, why is the point of them staying? Because that's
like,
fair. That's a fair thought process. It's
Even
like,
well, sure.
why
but,
am I going to stay if this person isn't what I'm looking for?
But we're talking about the way that I could see that working out logically is a long term. But what you're actually saying is in any moment.
Yeah, which is what you're talking about.
It's a moment's notice. Yeah. Of
Mhm.
well, if it's not going to be what I want it to be right now, then I'm not going to do it.
I mean, my girlfriend could have left at any point in time. I have said crazy shit. I have done crazy shit. And she's like, you know what? Whatever. I'll keep it going because I see other aspects that are more beneficial than what you just did.
That's crazy though because you're not a lot younger than. How old are you?
27. So I'm
So
10 years young.
It's there's enough of a gap there for you to understand a little bit more about what's happening.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I sure as fuck don't.
I see it with other family members. Like
Well, it's fucking. I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. Like, it's hard.
I mean, my brother has a hard time because it's not like people don't like bigger guys.
Right.
A lot of women like bigger guys.
Right.
But because he's like a little more quiet. He prefers like something over another. Like because he has like he loves anime. That's not a problem. That's not his character, but he loves to watch anime.
Right.
He could find a girl that loves to watch anime, but because he's not able to drink or do anything else like that, he has a lot more problems finding someone that's willing to accept that he can't do that. Like,
I've definitely noticed that the classifications seem to be a lot more specific these days.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. Like, for instance, like if you work at a white collar job, like people make fun of like guys that work at car dealerships, but like the reason why they're able to get girls is because they're easy at smooth talking with small talk. Anything deeper, it doesn't work. Any sort of baggage, they're able to kind of hide it for a lot longer. So it makes them look better. Guys that are in like marketing, like that work at a white collar job where they just talk to people all the time, they're going to be better at doing that. It's not that a douchebag is able to get more because they're a douchebag. A douchebag is able to get more girls because they're able to talk more. A normal dude, like for instance, I work a blue collar job. I work with 99% men. When I have to talk to a woman, it's a little weird to me because I don't know how I'm supposed to treat them. Am I supposed to be nicer? Am I supposed to treat them the way I treat everybody else? Because in my world, everybody else is another guy.
Right.
So, but like that's how it is. Like it's, and like especially if you're like a blue collar guy, there's not a lot of women, and a lot of the women that are in there either are already married, they're not, their workplace hot, which doesn't help out the scenario that I just said that, but
Right.
they're in their own, like I remember I went to AutoZone to get Jace's car checked, and there was a girl in there, and she kept like trying to like talk to everybody, and like she worked there. She was trying to like talk to everybody, and she was trying to like show that she knows as much or more than everybody else to like try to like be up there more, but she was the only woman in there. So she was the one that everybody was willing to talk to. And when she was showing that she knew more, someone was like, well, okay, so because you rebuilt an engine, why is my car shaking when I'm trying to go up? And she's like, oh, your motor mounts. And she's like, yeah, and if you want me to come over, I could do them for you. I have all the stuff. I'm like, oh, like she was on the opposite side of that though, because she was trying to find a guy that was a blue collar guy. And working at AutoZone, it's the appearance of blue collar, but not really being blue collar.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that.
So it's the same on both ends. Like, because at the other, I think it's just a disconnect between the sexes where they're trying to figure out like so women have a more available option unless they're not on those dating apps, because women that aren't on those dating apps seem to be more okay with a lot of other stuff. And there's people, you know what's crazy? I think it's only like 30% of society is actually on dating apps across the board, not like across demographic, not even like all together. Most people aren't even on that stuff.
I think part of the issue is not there's no demographic for what I'm speaking for, but I think everybody as a whole is just so used to instant gratification in just about any scenario that if this doesn't do it for you, it's as simple as not doing it.
To be fair, that we are the ADD age, so that's everyone can be kind of diagnosed with that at this point.
But it really sucks because that takes away from any long-term effects and people wanting to develop any form of any long-term conversation that's going to be had or could be had. It really takes away from all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it really takes away from the ability from one human to another to develop and grow and root, you know? And I'm not even talking about just boyfriend girlfriend kind of shit. I'm talking about like even friendships, you know? I mean, you have to give things time to grow, and you have to give things time to develop, and that's never going to change.
Yeah.
And it's I'm going to be honest, it's relatively upsetting to me, especially as of recently, with all the time that I dedicate to work, and then when I dedicate time to this, I don't get a whole lot of options. And it just, for some reason, it's unfortunate. But I set standards for myself and accomplishments for myself, and I wish that on other people for their own benefit and for that understanding, but it doesn't work that way.
So
it definitely does not work that way because people don't always want the same things, and that's fine. But
I don't think that you're having a problem with. So your options never changed. I think you just started seeing the options more. And I think that I think that you, because it's not, even though you're doing this, it's not like this is taking up personal time per se. It's like,
I mean,
because I think Lakin was telling you, like, it's possible to find someone that is okay with you doing this and is okay, like, just being in the background while you do everything.
but
Like,
it does take up personal time.
it does take a personal time, but like, what I mean is, like, she, in a relationship or in like a friendship, this is time where someone could just do something else. So while you're doing this, because you're not doing this 24/7, you, like, right now, Lakin's watching your kid
Right.
while we're doing this.
Right.
Now she kind of just has her own little free time to do what she wants to do, instead of me talking my ass off and distracting her every 10 minutes for
Yeah.
shit she wants to do.
Yeah.
So it's something like that where it's like, the beginning, you have to understand, is like, it's all a trial. Everything is a trial. And eventually, like, that trial does run out, and you have to decide, well, this is working out, and this is working out kind of well. There's a few things to kind of fix, but nothing's ever finished. A graffiti artist doesn't finish the painting, his art, ever. They end up stopping because they realize the process is complete. They see things that are wrong still, but they've decided that they're satisfied. You can always add more to a painting, but you need to realize that the painting's already been done. You kind of, like, so a long time, a couple of years ago, I made this reference of, like, every relationship. I was really drunk with Joey, and we were talking. We were both down bad, drinking in the backyard. It was like 2 a.m, and this was like when I was like 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
And we both just got out of a bad relationship. We both just were, like, really just talking about how shitty life is and everything. And then all of a sudden, the thought came up in my head of, every relationship that we're ever in is a puzzle. And there's 10-piece puzzles where you're just talking to, like, a cashier, or you have 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. You have 5,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. You have 10,000-piece jigsaw puzzles. Every person that you meet is another puzzle. And you and them sit down on this figurative table, and you create the puzzle. So the question is the puzzle complete, and how many pieces did you put down versus them? Sometimes puzzles don't get completed, and that's fine. Sometimes the puzzle's done, and it turns out it was only a 50-piece puzzle, a 100-piece puzzle. But that still gives you something to be... You have something there at the end. And these are things that this is just how every relationship is. Whether it's a friendship, or it's a meaning, or it's a... not a meaningful relationship, but like a sensual relationship, or like a relationship in which you grow until the end. Every relationship is just you connecting the pieces until you figure it out. And the longer you're with someone, the bigger the puzzle is. You never really get to finish a puzzle. You always just get to keep putting more together, or you walk away from the table.
I see a lot more complication in that than I think you do.
Okay. Let's go. I probably didn't say it right, because the first time I said it...
I've been kind of wondering where the end of that was going to go.
Well, essentially just... When you're done talking to people, the puzzle's over. So...
See, I don't like that, though.
How come?
I don't know. I just...
It's kind of it's a social contract. You agree that let's figure out where this goes for the time it goes.
I know, but that's so topical. Don't you think?
I mean, the thought process for any philosophical conversation is topical.
Yeah, but that's extremely topical. That's very material. That's very
Well, you're just using material to explain a.
No. I'm not talking literally. I'm speaking like I firmly believe in the reason, kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is because I believe in being a proponent of true human connection.
If you want to, you can say that you're trying to solve a Rubik's cube. I mean, we're not trying to uncover the Tesseract or anything. Like it's.
I mean, maybe I am.
I mean, I'm a simple human being. The fact that I'm trying to make a fucking iceberg jigsaw puzzle over here is fucking well above my weight class.
I don't know, man. I think that every meaningful interaction, and you can use the word meaningful how you will have some impact, whether you acknowledge it or not. And I think that is something to be spoken for.
Well, I mean, it takes time to put a 10-piece jigsaw puzzle together.
Back to the goddamn puzzle.
No, okay. No, I get what you're saying. It was just it's a simplification of how human interaction works.
Very simplified.
But
and I can see where you're at with it. I just think a lot farther into it.
Well, okay, so the way I kind of look at that is it's more of a blueprint than it is an actual like way of life. Like it's easy to be able to sit down with someone and make a puzzle requires some form of connection between the two of you. You need to have some sort of like ability to be like, well, let's start with the borders. Which when you talk to people, the first thing you do is you go around you make the small talk, you go around the borders.
See, now I have to stop you right there. You're right. You are right. I'm saying I agree with you, but the issue with that for a majority of people is acknowledging that connection, and that because there's an inability, there's a wall up, there's a restriction that you don't want to open up in that moment.
Yeah,
because obviously we're taught to believe opening up and becoming quote unquote vulnerable is a weakness.
Yeah.
So therein we are taught to just shut it off. So that instant connection is, I would say 9 times out of 10 probably shut down.
Well, a lot of 10-piece puzzles don't have anything but borders on them.
We're back to the puzzles.
I'm okay. I'm done with it.
No more puzzles.
No, I understand what you're talking about.
But you are right. You are right. But it's an instant moment where you have a choice to make.
So really, what that is like, if you're a closed off person, that's really just repetition. Like you just got to keep trying, but you have to acknowledge that in yourself that you can't talk about anything deeper.
You get to make the choice of, am I going to take the lessons that I've learned and try and expand on them in this moment, or am I going to take the lessons that I've learned and choose to make sure that no more damage can be done and not take the chance that more good can be done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's the other thing too, is like we're so afraid of opening up. So
everybody's afraid of being hurt more.
If it's one thing that this podcast should be aware of is like everybody has trauma.
Everybody
and
has
all
trauma.
of that trauma, no matter what it is, like everybody has their worst day of their life. And so that worst day of their life has impacted them. So it's one of those things where like if you see your friend get domed in a home invasion while you guys were having a good time, that's a lot more impactful than you got hit in a car accident.
Right, yeah.
And it like totaled your car, but everybody's fine. But those are both serious. It's like the same thing as like when a child loses their crayon and they've always had the 8 crayons in the crayon box. Well, now only having 7, that's the worst day of their life.
Yes.
They only know that much.
Right.
But because of that, that's still a learning experience for a child.
Mm-hmm.
There's everything that we go through is a learning experience. The question is like when you have a bad breakup or when you have a fallout with a friend and it's a bad fallout, do you take that fallout as I'm not letting that happen again?
Right.
Or do you take that fallout as in like, okay, I've learned from that experience to watch, and I should have acted this way, and I didn't like the way they acted that way, so I need to look out for that for the future.
This is a timeless conversation to be had because it's still obviously something you can bring up to anybody. And 90% of people are going to say, it's not going to happen again because I say so.
Yeah, and that's not the right way to go.
I'm so glad you agree with that.
Well, it's like, so
It's not, though.
when I was between the ages of 18 and 22, 23, I had around 30 people I could just call at any point in time, and I would hang out with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always had people to hang out with. I was always able to make a party start. I was always I realized slowly these people are fucking toxic to me. Not that they're toxic, but they're toxic to me. And a lot of these people that I was hanging out with actually, like, interrupted my growth. And now I have a solid group of 5 other people I talk to. I have my family that I choose to hang out with a lot, where we all talk on as much of a basis as we can, and we all try to just see each other once a week or so and continuously tell each other about things. I got a fucking text from Stetson. He was on here, so I can say his name. I got a text from Stetson today telling me a fucking dream he had. I try to read it. I don't have that attention, but I might try again before I see him today. But that was a fucking paragraph and a half.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like I realized that having 30 friends is terrible. And I cut a lot of the fat. And I'm definitely the bad guy in some of the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall, I'm a good person. I just, sometimes you can't help people. Some people are more codependent than others, and some people are more independent than others.
Yeah, in a scenario like that, man, when somebody gets handed that kind of a wealth, the only way you're going to find out how bad it is by going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is definitely a form of fucking wealth, dude.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's like, all those people expect you
Yeah, you're
to
the guy.
treat them undividedly.
Right, you're the guy.
And then suddenly you become the glue.
Mm-hmm.
And that is way more...
It's dangerous.
My girlfriend tells me all the time, she's like, I can't believe that you're the one that plans everything. I'm like, well, I'm so used to planning everything. Like,
right.
I'm the one that figures out how to do everything. Like, it's... I'm not trying to be egotistical or anything. Like, it's just, I noticed that, like, even trying to, like, figure out, like, a weekend plan, I'm the playmaker. I'm the one that calls
the guy.
I hit everybody up. And, like, for instance, now that it's football season, I hang out with my family Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. So Dustin will hit me up and be like, hey, which house are we going tonight? And
Dustin will?
Yeah. Dustin will hit me up.
Dirty D.
I have to tell Santana, like, hey, we're going to be at my house tonight, or hey, we're going to be at my parents' house tonight.
Oh.
I have to, like, whenever my little cousin is spending the night, he asked me, and I'm like, hey, bro, are you going to pick him up? And he's like, yeah, I'll pick him up. I'm like, all right. And I'll text him back. I'm like, hey, yeah, you're spending the night. Like, those are... I try to make accommodations all the time. Like, it's something that I do, but trying to do that when I had 30 friends,
yeah,
was ungodly.
Because it makes you, yes, you're the center, and yes, you're the popular.
But I don't even like that.
But you're also the bad guy when it comes time to be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that line gets drawn very quickly.
It's like the thing at work, too. Like, people ask me, like, hey, what should we do? And I'm like, you're the boss. Why are you asking me?
Right. You talk to him. I don't want to do it.
Like, I'll have my supervisor come up and was like, all right, we need these 5 things done. How much can you do? And how much do we have to mitigate? And I'm like, I can do these 2 things. I need the other 3 things done by other people. He's like, well, who do you think should do those things? I'm like,
motherfucker, I don't know. I pay attention
why
to my
am
shit.
I the one to figure this out? Like, I'm going to be honest. I like to be the background character. I think the first time I was on here, I asked you, like, what book character would you prefer to be? And I was like, I'd rather be Nick Carraway. Because he's the main character, but not really. He's so in Great Gatsby, Nick Carraway is...
Oh, there you go.
He's the one telling you everything, but he's like a first-person narrator,
Mm-hmm.
where Gatsby is the one that's the main character. he's just watching all the events happen. And I rather do that. I don't want to be like the main guy. I just like kind of being there. Like,
I'm good with it. You're an NPC.
I would love to be an NPC.
Of course
It's
you
so
would.
nice.
Oh shit.
Have you seen those NPC TikToks?
Yeah, they're fucking everywhere, man.
It,
Um,
they're insane.
well, let's end this with a good note. I got to cut just a hair bit short.
Oh, that's fine.
I got something pressing that I'll tell you about here in just a minute.
Okay.
You have a good note?
Do I have a good note?
Yeah. Give me some good ending philosophy
All
for
right.
this random rant.
This whole episode kind
Yeah.
of was just a string of rants.
Yeah,
No, it's good.
this is good.
This was an impromptu episode, anyways.
That's what it's about. Yeah, this was
Um,
definitely not fucking planned at all. I'm in the middle of cooking. He's in the middle of taking care of shit. And
I
we
went
were-
pee.
He
and
was
then
like, "We should fucking record." It's like, "All right, let's do it."
"It was a good time."
Yeah, it was a good time. It was perfect.
Random philosophy from me. I think that when you're going through your day, take a second to remember that everybody else is the main character in their own story too, and just treat people. You don't know what's going on, so just treat everybody with their own little grace, emotions.
I think that is fucking perfect considering everything I talked about today.
Yeah, just treat everybody with
Yeah.
their own little grace because you don't know what they're going through.
When you look at your life and you think that everybody's against you, remember that everybody's looking through their own set of eyes with their own set of problems.
And only you know what you're going through.
Oh,
And only they know what they're going through.
that's fucked up, but you right. I like that. That's okay. Treat everybody like they're going through your life.
That's probably not the way.
That's not it. No. Treat everybody like they got their own set of problems. They feel the same way that you feel about your life, that they feel about their life.
Everybody feels like their own main character.
Yeah.
And in reality, we're just a bunch of ants on an anthill working together.
Okay, that's not. No, I'm kidding. I like it. That's good.
Yeah. Just treat everybody as if they just need a little. Smile at people.
We're all in this together.
Not like Jeffrey Dahmer, but smile at people.
Well, if you got to be a little Jeffrey, then do it. No, don't do that. I'm kidding.
Don't be. We do not condone Jeffrey.
We're we're all in this together. Keep that in mind. We're all going through our same pile of shit, and we're all trying to sort through to find the good.
And also hear people out. Sometimes they just need a little heart.
It's very true too. Just take a second to listen. You never know whose life you might save.
Yeah,
It's very true. Anyway,
that's a wrap.
sorry. Like, follow, subscribe on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. If you subscribe to Spotify, you'll get notifications every time a new episode is dropped. And I fucked up by hitting the keyboard.
I got a little thing.
Oh.
I've been thinking about doing something, either streaming or posting videos lately, or just my gamer tag, because my gamer tag is the same on everything. I
If you
like to
wanna
play Rocket League, Call of Duty. I play GTA. I am Skera, D, capital D, lowercase Skera, as any kind of gamer tag, on PC, on Xbox. Find me on Twitch and YouTube. I'm D Skera, capital D Skera, and I am a third-party minority on Instagram.
Third party minority. The most famous shit poster you will ever add. I serious. If you fucking subscribe to his shit, you will get the most random videos ever.
Also, I don't post very often. It's once every 3 months, so it's always a little gift.
To what?
Instagram.
No.
Well, I'll shit post for like a week straight and then calm down.
Yeah. I was like, I get fucking shit every day. I don't want to hear it.
Oh yeah, if you're on my sharing list, you're getting shit.
Fair enough. All right.
See you guys.
Keep listening. He's bounced. No, keep listening for more information on the Veterans Day flag run and all the promos that are going to be going along with that. Keep in mind that when we do that, there is going to be a special line of shirts out. We're going to have more vets on talking about their stories and trying to prevent veteran suicide. Special line of shirts, Veterans Day flag run, which we're also going to be fucking live for all day. That's going to be a probably six hour long event. So stay tuned for more info. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot any questions for information to meversusmeinfo@gmail.com. And fucking keep on trucking. We love you.